Mr. Ridgley, I am starting it also on Facebook because we have been asked if we can share. So the answer
All
is yes.
right, let's do this thing. Going to have a little bit of fun today. Looking forward to it for sure.
Awesome. You are in a special place. Why don't you tell us where you are?
I am south of Cancun in Akumal Bay. Akumal stands for Land of the Turtles. And so right outside my window, looking that way, is a giant bay with a reef across the front. And there are about 80 loggerhead and um, other funky turtles out there, plus every fish in Finding Nemo, stingrays, and occasionally a shark.
Oh, there you go. And I know, I mean, this is no joke, but I have heard you say that this is your favorite place on earth.
It is really crazy. This is a tiny little resort. Here, I'm going to pop it in the chat, even though I don't like sharing this particular thing, but we're going to share it with Mastermind. It's called,
There
so
you go.
check it out, Akumal Bay Resort. Check it out. It is incredible. 310 rooms, every one of them oceanfront, every one of them with a jacuzzi on the balcony overlooking the water right out there on the other side of my computer. So,
And you happen to be the informal mayor of the place. No joke.
well, I do the personal development and professional training for the staff, which is what I was doing most of the day today. And as a result, we are very much appreciated around here. We get a lot of special privileges that we probably don't deserve. But hey, somebody's got to do it.
There you go. Okay, well, I'm glad you could take the time out for our very important mastermind members to join us for this session. Now, originally, this is a normal mastermind meeting, but because we've been asked by so many people, because it was so hot the last time we had the open house, they couldn't wait for the next open house, and they asked if we would open up, access to this one. And that's why, you'll see in the list of participants, some new names, old friends, and so forth. So just FYI, we can't bust out all the trade secrets on this one, but just that we'll conduct this like a regular mastermind meeting.
I'm looking forward to this because we have a dear friend and client, Kathleen, who'll be joining me very soon, who is giving a speech in a presentation coming up in just a couple of weeks. And being a pastor and an excellent speaker and speech writer, I, of course, in a conversation with her said, well, how long does it take you to write a speech? And she says, oh, about 8 hours. And I said, what? Excuse me, are we not using AI? And she said, well, no. And I said, well, I think maybe we could. And how about we just take that up on the mastermind? And literally for everybody watching, we'll start from scratch. As in, I don't know anything about the topic at all. We're going to start from scratch and we're going to go through the process, Hubert, of sharing with people how to think like the tool. So in just a couple of weeks, there's an AI writing mastery summit that is happening. I've been asked to be one of the keynote speakers on that summit. And they said, what topic do you want to use? And I said, I don't want to teach people about, oh, this prompt versus that prompt. I volunteered to be the person speaking about how to think like AI, which in my mind is the most valuable piece because you can easily go out and buy a bunch of prompts. And there's new ones every day, and there's new stuff coming out every day, and there's prompt linking coming out every day, and forking, and all kinds of stuff that is happening to help understand AI. But the most important thing that I think all of us need to become proficient at in order to use this in our ongoing business on a daily basis with AI is how do you think like the tool? It's just a tool, but it's not like a hammer and a chisel that you have to get used to. Oh, I hit it this way and I bend the chisel that way, and then I go like this, and then I come up with some masterpiece. It's a tool that requires thought. How can I get it in my brain the way in which this tool can serve me in my business? So we're going to do that. We can even do that right at the beginning, Hubert, or
I
you can
think we
do
would.
something
Yeah,
groovy that you have.
I think it's great. I do want to set the context for some of the newer people that are joining us, perhaps for the first time, perhaps occasionally. So I just also want to recognize some people in the chat. It's very funny when I said we're not going to give away all the secrets. Originally, Bill Foss says, "Not all the secrets." What? So that was funny. Bill, great to see you here. So, folks, we had promised that to bring you totally up to speed on AI, and I can do that in 30 seconds. Okay. Don't think of AI as some tech mumbo jumbo. That's the wrong path. Also, don't think of AI as like, oh, there are magic prompts out there. That's the path. That's not true either. As Ridgley just told you, once you know how to think like AI, you'll break through. Before you think like AI, though, let me just explain the best way to think of AI. Okay. So originally, we've been around the block a couple of hundred times. And we started off back in the days when like the mastermind was the big deal. Okay, this mastermind, this whole thing, and the power of the masterminding and networking and all of that was like, I mean, you build your bread and butter as a speaker on that. Okay. So when you and I started getting excited about this, and I said, originally, you know what this is? This is actually a virtual mastermind of all the human thought in the world that has been documented on the internet.
Mhm.
How awesome is it to be able to, at will, on demand, ask in this virtual mastermind an expert about any given subject that you could possibly ask about? Okay, now,
Well, it's awesome, but what one thing, but you got to know how to ask.
exactly. That's the part about how to think about an AI, right? But the thing is, like, the power, folks, of mastermind that you have now. We have our little masterminds like this, but now through these tools, we have access to like the ultimate mastermind. And once Richley and I started leveraging that, it the lights came on. Our own little niche in this space is gaining a lot of momentum, and it's unique because everybody in their haste to adopt the tech side of it has left out the whole side about making the connection emotional, limbic based, and that emotional connection in the messaging. Wow, we took our basic principles that came even way before AI, and we bolted on AI as like a leverage tool for it. It's been incredible, and we will show you that. Okay, and so folks, that's all you need to know about AI. If you haven't been using AI up till now, that's actually a good thing because you didn't go through the pain of saying, "Oh my God, this thing is so stupid." Right? Now, originally mentioned about how to think like AI. No more true now. I mean, it is so true. We've all heard the phrase garbage in, garbage out. Okay, I've been making the joke by sharing memes in these invitation emails about how stupid AI is, right? Jim in the chat, is acknowledging, how the artificial intelligence versus human stupidity. I mean, that whole theme is very true. And watch as Ridgley helps Kathleen in how he creates the prompts to do this. So Ridgley, we're going to jump in that right away, but I just want to shout out a few names. Hello, Bruce Barnes. Thank you for everything. Dr. Art, Rich, get this. Dr. Art said Wall Street Journal yesterday on how zero defects is reemerging as a top of mind topic for manufacturers. And now I'm only sharing this on this public call because he already owns the domain, but he went and grabbed product, zerodefectsproducts.com. So that's awesome. Hello,
Nice, nice
Bill.
work, Art.
Hello. Yep. Hello, Bridget. Hello, Elaine. Jim, howdy. Just want to also say, Bruce Barnes is saying integrate AI to increase HI, human intelligence. So that's awesome too. The other thing that we were playing with originally when we were talking about artificial intelligence, right? We were playing with themes like that to actually make it, really like authentic intelligence. That's our goal. Hey, Kathleen, great to see you. All right, Ridgley, I hand it over to you. Kathleen, welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank you. It's
All
great to
right.
be here.
We are going to have some fun, and thank you for sending me that email with the title of your speech. In complete fairness, I can't remember what it is, and that's a good thing because we literally are going to start from zero. And what I'm going to do here, team, is I'm going to talk the way through how to use AI to do something that you can become an expert in, bearing in mind that you do have to be in your zone of genius, right? So My zone of genius is writing. For those of you who don't know me, I've written 20 books, one of them using AI, the other 19 the old way, right? And so writing is what I do, right? Communication, marketing, messaging, that's all I do. It's my career and love it. And therefore, we are in my zone of genius. I'm not trying to write a symphony because I know nothing about how to do that, cannot play any instrument, not even a recorder, right? So I'm not doing that. We're in my space, but we're going to use the tool of AI to enhance, amplify, and magnify the zone of genius, which is writing. So first of all, tell us, Kathleen, tell us about this speech a little bit. Tell us where you're speaking, what we're going to be focused on here. Give us a little background, please.
Okay, this is a presentation, a 20-minute presentation that I will be giving on May 3rd or 4th in Toronto at a conference called, and this is a long title, Third Millennium Women's Entrepreneurship, Leadership, Management, Positive Psychology, Mental Health Conference, 4th edition. Now, if you got that all memorized, great. I don't.
Tell us a little bit about this conference, because I already got lost by the third or fourth big long word there.
Well, I really don't know much about this because I got an invitation to be a speaker through LinkedIn on this, and through some of the things I've put out on LinkedIn apparently, and looking at that, and they've done 3 of these before. The last one was in Barcelona, Spain. This one's going to be in Toronto. And so it's something that is growing in the number of people who are involved and the number of participants. So they're looking for people who are female, entrepreneurs, leaders in the fields of positive psychology, mental health, management, all these different fields coming together to do things and to network and to learn and grow from each other.
And you obviously, just by way of background, you were a pastor, then you were a consultant to pastors and churches. So you have a deep expertise in the area of speaking and getting in front of people and talking to people. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah. Well, I've been a pastor for 44 years now. Seems impossible, but retired for a number of them since then. I have been a host of a weekly live radio show for 5.5 years. That ended about a year ago. Now have a podcast called The Tilted Halo, which is for women of faith and leadership who know perfectly well that they're not perfect. That's why the halo is tilted. And so been doing a lot of speaking. I've written sermons for many, many years. Have a book that I hope will be out before the conference, which is conversations on a lot of different topics and a lot of stories from my life. So it was transcribed from oral conversations. So, and the title that I've got is Leadership You Can't Play on a Teeter-Totter Alone.
Awesome. Leadership you can't play on a teeter-totter alone. Okay, so we're going to, with that in mind, that's the second time I've heard that. And there was once an email that was sent to me that I ignored, but that's okay. It's all good. It was on purpose. I did not want to come in here with any more knowledge than very, very basic stuff.
I'll add one other thing to it. One of the things that I am very passionate about using and sharing is the power of gratitude in all of this. So gratitude is one of the things that I see as central into leadership and into my story. And my story will be part of the talk as well.
Beautiful. So here we have ChatGPT 4, and we're going to incorporate all of that, and you're going to see how it happens naturally. And this is a large language model. Now, what that means is that you can speak to it and have a conversation with the tool, and the tool will respond. Now, obviously, speaking to it is a very easy thing to say and not so easy to do, because this is where the mastery comes in. What am I going to say to the tool so that the tool can respond intelligently? Obviously, the more you educate the tool, the more you inform the tool, the more you put into the tool in your area of whatever it is that you're looking to find out about, the better the response is going to be. So the way we're going to kick this off is by not even talking about the topic yet. We're going to start out by saying, hey, I want you, AI, to become my prompt creator. In other words, we're going to educate AI about something, and AI is not going to answer me back until it evaluates itself at a high enough level to say, I now know enough about this topic in order to produce a good result for you. So we're not going out there saying something like, hey, write me a speech about gratitude. No, 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 no. That would be very plebeian, and you would get a very plebeian answer, even though it might be okay. It might be a starting point, because one of the things about AI is it is a fully iterative process. So you can start and then iterate and start and iterate and keep going and iterate. However, where you start is going to dramatically have a massive impact on where you end up. So it
Ridgley,
starts.
I just also want to add one thing, Ridgley, in the how to think like an AI department. So AI requires, quantification. So folks, you're going to see as Ridgley uses this prompt creator to help write the prompt. And again, the prompt is just the way you ask AI to give you a result. You'll see that the prompt that we've engineered here will be self-ranking and self-improving. So the quantification, you'll see, it'll start off as a 6 or a 7, and then as it evolves over the course of conversation with Ridgley, the numeric value of the quality of the prompt will increase. Ridgley, back to you.
Okay, so, and again, we're not going to make this perfect. We're going to go through a process so that everybody can see the process. So it says, I'm ready to assist you as your prompt creator. Let's begin this creative journey. What should the prompt be about? I'm now going to tell AI first, what role are they going to play here?
I'm sorry to interrupt. I just want to take an administrative moment here. Sherry was reporting that she couldn't see anything. I just wanted to make sure that the others can see the screen.
Somebody jump in the chat and tell us whether you can see the screen or not. Can you see it, Kathleen?
Yes, I can.
Okay, great. Thank you all.
Yeah.
Great. So I'm first going to tell AI what the role is it's going to play. You are an expert speechwriter with deep expertise in gratitude and matters of faith. I'm going to start there. We're going to say, you have been charged with drafting a 20-minute speech titled, give me that one more time, please.
Leadership. You can't play on a teeter-totter alone.
Can't play on a teeter-totter alone. Okay, excellent. And so that's a simple command. It's going to start the process of AI telling me what else it needs in order to produce a good result. So very simple. I go like this. What's going to happen? It's going to rate this prompt that I just wrote. It's going to give me like a 6 or 7. There we go, 6, right? Which means I've got a lot of work to do, because a 6 is nowhere near good enough. For those of us who are teachers, what's the 60% get you? If I'm not mistaken, I believe that's like a D, right? So we're not even close. So it's going to offer me 2 things. Number 1, suggestions as to how I can improve this prompt. And number 2, questions. So, and the suggestions are basically going to be very similar to what the questions are. Here's the way to use this. You're having a conversation. So you can pick either suggestions or questions and just follow the prompts. So what do you like better, suggestions or questions, Kathleen?
Well, suggestions. Let's do that.
Okay, great. So what's the target audience?
Target audience is women who are entrepreneurs in leadership and management or management.
Leadership or management. Notice all I did was answer the first suggestion. Okay, what is the event or context where the speech will be delivered?
Context is a conference.
At a conference. Okay, great. And give me the tone. Like, do you want it inspiring, educational, funny, formal, informal? What tone would you like?
Um, Informal, educational, and inspirational, because they need to learn some things, but also to be inspired.
Perfect. Okay, great. And now, let's just go with that first. This is going to improve us to maybe a 7.5, somewhere in that realm. And now you can see that the prompt is being revised because I'm having a conversation. There we go, up to an 8 already. Good. So now notice where we are on this prompt. Compose a 20-minute speech titled Leadership. You can't plan a teeter totter alone, aimed at women, entrepreneur, leadership, and management roles. The speech will be delivered at a conference, should adopt an informal, educational, inspirational tone, focus on the significance of gratitude and faith in nurturing effective leadership, illustrating how these values can empower women in their entrepreneurial journeys. Now, how long would it have taken you, Kathleen, to write that prompt? A long time.
Just without knowing what I'm doing, probably way too long.
Right. Okay, good. So let's go back to suggestions again. So what are some specific challenges or opportunities that are unique to women entrepreneurs that this speech could address?
Loneliness and stress.
Okay, hold on a second. Specific challenges include loneliness and stress. Okay, great. And by the way, you can leave typos in AI, it doesn't care, but it's all good. Think about, do you want to include any trends or stats or anything like that about women?
Yes, I would like some statistics about both of those.
We need trends about both entrepreneurship and leadership
Yeah.
for women. And any call to action. What is the call to action or practical advice that you're looking to convey?
The practical advice would be how gratitude can help with these things, and looking at the beliefs they hold, because that's kind of my solution, if you wish. Gratitude, their beliefs, and there's one other point on that. And then and finding their own story in the midst of this, the power of sharing their own story.
That's a little bit much, so let's not go quite that fast. So
Okay.
again, specific challenges include loneliness and stress. We need trends about both entrepreneurship and leadership for women. Practical advice is how gratitude can help, as well as looking at what beliefs are being held that hold them back or propel them forward.
Correct.
Go with that. It's going to take us to a 9 or 9.5.
Mm-hmm.
And we're still not done yet because we have another piece. There's a 9. Okay, so let's take a look at final suggestions. And tell me what you just said earlier.
The engaging story is about a teeter-totter.
Okay, engaging story is about a teeter-totter. Okay.
And realizing that you can't play on that teeter-totter alone. And so the gratitude and working with others and having a mentor can help deal with all of this.
You can find a mentor. What are some actionable steps or exercises that the audience can practice to cultivate gratitude?
Start a gratitude journal. 10 gratitudes. Well, start with 3 gratitudes every day, unique ones.
Starting, one sec, gratitude journal, and start and inputting 3 unique gratitudes
every day.
Every day. Okay, we're going to get to a 9.5 or 10 here, and then we will review the prompt again. And you can see that all I'm doing is having a dialogue with the tool and then using the tool to create a tremendous output. And then from there, we begin the iteration. Yeah, it's a 10. That's what we wanted. So, by the way, getting to a 10 is not necessary for everybody. It's actually quite difficult to get to a 10. I know some of our mastermind members like to play that. It does take a little bit of time, but we've been at this a while now. So here we go. Here's the prompt. Craft a 20-minute speech titled Leadership You Can't Play on a Teeter-Totter Alone for women entrepreneurs in leadership or management roles, focusing on overcoming loneliness and stress. This speech, to be presented at a conference with an informal, educational, and inspirational tone, should include current trends in entrepreneurship and leadership for women, use a central story about the realization that playing on a teeter-totter alone is impossible, symbolizing the need for gratitude, collaboration, and mentorship in leadership, emphasize how these elements can transform challenges into opportunities for growth, conclude with practical advice, encourage starting a gratitude journal, committing to writing 3 unique gratitudes daily to foster a mindset of appreciation and open-mindedness towards collaborative success. Now that is an instruction to start with. Now notice that I spent a good chunk of time just crafting the initial instruction. Okay, so this is where this gets a little crazy. Now here we go. It's going to start. Speech title, Leadership You Can't Play on a Teeter-Totter Alone. Introduction. Open with a metaphor of teeter-totter to illustrate the concept of leadership as a balance between giving and receiving support. Introduce the theme. Current trends in entrepreneurship and leadership for women. Highlight recent statistics. Discuss how the landscape is changing. What's the central story, the teeter-totter metaphor, the power of gratitude and mentorship in leadership, practical advice, cultivating gratitude and building support networks, conclusion, recap the key themes, etc. So now it has given us basically a roadmap. You see that, Kathleen?
Mm-hmm.
So what would we do here? What do you think would be a logical next step?
Well, part of it is I want to insert my story into this so people know who I am and where that comes from, why I'm talking about this.
But before we do that, let's make AI do some more work, shall we?
Okay, sure.
So here we go. Great. Thank you. Can you please help flesh out each of these sections? Here we go. Now it's going to flesh it out. So now let's go. Watch this. So again, we're telling the tool what to do. Let's go one by one. Start with the introduction. Now notice that I'm not doing the work. I'm just guiding. Imagine, if you will, a playground bathed in the golden light of a late afternoon sun. The swings are still, the slide untouched, but your eyes are drawn to the teeter-totter, standing starkly unused. It's a simple thing, a teeter-totter, yet it holds within a profound truth about our lives and roles as leaders, especially as women entrepreneurs navigating the complex world of business. This teeter-totter, ladies and gentlemen, is not just a piece of playground equipment. It is a metaphor for leadership, a representation of the delicate balance between pushing forward with our vision and leaning back to listen and collaborate with others. Just as a teeter-totter cannot function with only one person, leadership too cannot exist in isolation. It demands partnership, it requires give and take, and it thrives on mutual support. This is good stuff. And this happened in a matter of seconds. So let's introduce, before we go to the next section, let's introduce the speaker. what would you like to say about yourself, or where is there something we can gain information about you?
Oh, good grief. That is something I would probably write because I wanted to fit in with this part of things.
Okay, so tell me about yourself.
This part of the story would be that just shy of 5 years into my second position as a pastor, the new senior pastor, that was a large congregation, and I was one of 5 full-time pastors.
One second,
And
one second.
I know you can't type that fast.
Okay, the new senior pastor, go ahead.
The new senior pastor came to me one day and said he was allowing me to choose.
Okay, choose between what?
I could resign or be fired. And I was devastated. Totally devastated, felt like a total failure, and was on the verge of quitting ministry. And part of what was happening is that I had great feelings of loneliness, and I had a lot of stress at that congregation. It was gratitude, starting very small. That was, I was introduced to that through a friend and a book, which I would talk about, that helped begin the process of change for me. And because of that, I went on to 12 years of as a pastor in a team ministry with my husband. And we are still married after working together for 12 years. Mentored 14 seminary students through 2 years of their theological education. And after retiring, when I was ready, had a weekly live radio show for 5.5 years that reached 6 continents and at least 25 countries. And now have a new podcast called The Tilted Halo for women of faith in leadership. Who know perfectly well that they're not perfect.
Kathleen, I must say that is a brilliant name for a podcast. Brilliant.
Thank you. It had a very funny origin, but anyway, it works.
Okay, here we go. Why would I work so hard when AI can do it for me? Here we go. And now it's going to rewrite the intro, and it's going to introduce you, and then we can go on to the second section. And before you know it, look at this. Here we go. Pastor Kathleen's journey is a testament to the strength and resilience that lies within each of us. 5 years into her ministry, she faced a devastating choice: resign or be fired. Feeling like a failure, on the verge of quitting ministry, she experienced profound loneliness and stress. It was in this moment of despair that she discovered Great. Now watch this, Kathleen. Again, we're learning to think like the tool. Okay. So we need to tell the tool how to speak. So we're going to say, terrific.
Speak in the first person.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Now rewrite this piece as if it were, rewrite this piece to be delivered by Pastor Kathleen. Just tell her what to do. Just think like the tool. Okay, here we go. Imagine with me, if you will, a playground bathed in the golden light in the afternoon sun, the swing, sway in the breeze, blah, blah, blah. I stand before you today to explore a theme very close to my heart. Leadership, you can't play on a teeter-totter alone. Conversation about the power of gratitude, the essence of partnership. 5 years into my first pastoral position, I faced a devastating choice, right? So
Yeah.
obviously you can tweak this, etc. But this is fantastic content already.
Wow.
That
Yeah.
was done. And we're only on the introduction.
And now you got to write the rest of it and send it to me.
There we go. Great.
And also, just for everybody watching, if the thought occurred to you, well, that's not how I would normally speak. You can also educate it to change the tone and make it simpler or whatever. Ridgley can walk us through many effective ways of how to do that.
So now I just go, great. Now please do the next section. There we go. I mean, well, I could really work very, very hard, or I could just say, I don't think I want to. I think I'd rather have AI do this for me. And now notice how the tool has learned, and the tool is now writing in your voice, Kathleen. You see that?
Yeah.
In recent years, we've seen a remarkable surge in the number of women entrepreneurs and leaders. It's a testament to our collective strength and resilience, a sign that the barriers that once seemed insurmountable are beginning to crumble. Yet with these advances come unique challenges, loneliness and stress being among the most pervasive. It's a peculiar paradox, isn't it? Et cetera, et cetera. Please continue to the next section. Here we go. Central metaphor, the teeter-totter metaphor. I bet this is going to be good. And then I'm going to tweak something to show you another trick to do with this, again, thinking like the tool.
And when it comes to the teeter-totter, I can have some slides. So I would put a picture of a teeter-totter on the slide so everybody knows what I'm talking about.
Listen to this. I remember walking through a quiet park, much like the one I described, wrestling with my thoughts and seeking guidance. It was there that I stumbled upon an empty teeter-totter. As I looked at it, a realization washed over me, a moment of clarity that felt as though it had been whispered by God himself. A teeter-totter needs two people to be in balance. It's a simple truth, but in that moment, it became a profound metaphor for my life and my work. Right? Okay, I'm going to say this. Watch this. Before you move on to the next section, can you insert a story about what happened to a young child when they came to the playground and got on the teeter-totter? Make sure it is all about the lessons being driven by the speech of Kathleen. Why would I have to try to figure that out? Now, you see what we're doing, right, Kathleen? We're thinking like the tool. We're going in there. And now, look at this. It's mind-boggling how good this stuff is when you know how to do it. As I stood there lost in thought beside the teeter-totter, a moment unfolded before me that would further cement the lesson I was just beginning to understand. A young child, no more than 7 years old, entered the playground with a spirit of boundless energy and joy. Their eyes sparkled with anticipation at the sight of the swings, the slide, and finally, the teeter-totter. Excitedly, the child climbed onto one end of the teeter-totter, expecting the thrills of ups and downs. But as they pushed off from the ground, they quickly found themselves stuck in the air, the other side of the teeter-totter unmoved, anchoring them in place. Their excitement turned to confusion, then frustration. They hadn't realized that to enjoy the ride, to truly experience the joy of the teeter-totter, they needed someone else, someone to share the weight, to help them find balance, and to take turns lifting each other up and down. This simple yet profound realization by the child mirrored my own, and so on and so on. It's crazy, right?
Yeah.
I mean, this is crazy how good this is.
Yeah. And it's interesting because I had that realization about a year ago at a playground. And so I'll probably weave my own story in at that point in time with that,
So,
which would make it even more personal, which is just fine.
yeah. So now we got the power of gratitude and mentorship and leadership. Here comes your
Right.
next section. And of course, here I will deliver to you a complete speech. However, then it's up to you to put the Kathleen
Right.
super mojo on this.
Right.
But to start from this, as
And
opposed to staring at a blank screen, give me a break,
it's so much easier. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
right? It
Now,
gives
Yes.
let me point out for those watching about Ridgley mentioned bring your own genius. The genius of this is that metaphor that Kathleen brought with her to this, right? And so, the AI had a brilliant place to start already. So, it really is garbage in, garbage out, folks. But if you bring your own brilliance in, then you get, a leveraged version of that.
and now we get practical advice from Kathleen. How do we do that? What are the things that are going to help you in your world, in your life? So here we go. Starting a gratitude journal is the first one. One of the most transformative practices I've embraced is keeping a gratitude journal. It began during a time of great personal upheaval when the light of the tunnel, at the end of the tunnel, seemed dim. Each day I committed to writing down 3 unique things I was grateful for. Could be as simple as a kind word from a stranger or as significant as a major personal breakthrough, and so on. And then we go to the practical advice number 2, building a support network. And you can see that AI is a ridiculous tool. In conclusion, etc. And there you go. And there is your speech.
Wow. And I can do a call to action in the speech, so I can add that into the conclusion very easily.
Oh, well, why don't we just get AI to do that?
That would be great.
Great. Please give us a concluding CTA. Bada bing. Here's how Pastor Kathleen can wrap up her insightful speech. And there you go. And now I invite you to join me in a commitment to action. Here are 3 actions I encourage each of you to take starting today. 1, begin your gratitude journal. 2, reach out for mentorship. 3, offer your support to light the way for someone else's journey.
And even come maybe work with me. We'll see.
Well, that's that mentorship people
Right,
part, right? The mentorship thing is right there, which it enables you to make that real.
That's right.
So
Awesome.
kind of ridiculous, isn't it? So
It is so good.
I know I'm actually going to pop this right into the chat, and I want you to open it and make sure you have it.
Yeah.
And so there, open it, make sure you have all of that content right there. And folks watching, if this is your first time watching this and you want to find out more about our AI mastermind, then pop on to my calendar. You know, there are no openings in March, but there are openings at the beginning of April. And I'll be happy to hop on and talk to you about your company and what you're doing. Kathleen, can you get all that?
I'm trying to open it right now.
And Ridgley has it in his AI history there. So if we need to send it, we can.
Yeah, asking for the API key. I have one somewhere, but I'm not sure exactly where. Do I need?
No, you don't have to worry about it. I can get it for you.
That sounds unusual.
So what happens is, and this is a great lesson for everybody else, what I then do is I say, okay, Kathleen, I will just send it to you.
Okay.
And by literally doing a cut and paste, it is now in your inbox.
Oh, wow.
How about that?
Well, not quite yet, but
It'll be there
Al-
momentarily.
Also,
Takes a while to
a
get from
best
Mexico to
practice.
your house.
yeah.
Another best practice too, Kathleen and others, is that as we work with, say, something like ChatGPT, we'll keep a Google Doc open on the side and we'll cut and paste over there and then, use that as a working document after.
Aha. There it is. Yes.
Wonderful.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Now,
You're very welcome.
before we let you go, Kathleen, somebody asked if we can post a replay of this. I just wanted to respect and get your approval, or not, depending on how you feel about it. Are you willing to have this be shared?
Yeah, you
Okay,
can go ahead and share.
Okay,
I don't
great.
think there's anything in here that would be copyrighted or anything like that. So,
Well, now we're gonna see a Hallmark movie come out next week, featuring a woman in crisis, and then her turning point was seeing the teeter-totter in the playground.
uh-huh.
Kathleen, thanks very much for playing with us.
Oh,
Obviously,
thank you for the invitation to do this. It was awesome.
you are most welcome. And I've said we welcome you into our mastermind as well. The link is there. Talk to me and we'll make it happen. All right.
Okay.
We'll see you next time, Kathleen. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hubert, I
Well-
know it's like 50,000 comments, so you got to navigate that for us,
Yes,
brother.
yes. Now,
I was a little busy.
so that's awesome. So everybody, loves to watch you work with the prompts. Okay. But I want to share also too, and share my screen. And I always like to contrast, what you saw originally do was like the expert version of, using prompts. For those of us in the mastermind that want to start off with an easier approach, there's a way to do it using the tools that we provide as part of the mastermind. We have this one called the PAF Brain. Let me actually look in the share. If anybody wants to give me a URL of their website, just pop it into the chat right now, and I will show you how this works. We might as well do it with a live example. So first one to pop in their URL of their website into the webinar chat will get a demonstration. So, okay. Yes, Bruce, let me copy your website right there. Okay, and then we'll go back to the, okay, so let me go to our app, log in. This is the PAF Brain. Originally, just wanted to check, you can see my screen still?
Yep, perfect.
Okay, awesome. So this is the easy way. You can just enter the URL. Okay. You can choose a model. We've updated this to, for the geek heads out there that want to really zone in on a model, whatever. Let's just go with regular GPT-4. And now with the tasks, you can choose various outputs, which I'll explain. But as you know, if you follow our methodology, these are based around the PAF, which is the partner attraction formula. It's a 3-step formula. I'm going to ask Ridgley to explain the 3 steps, and then I'll come back to this. So Ridgley, give everybody a brief explanation of the 3 steps of the partner attraction formula. And first off, please explain also what we mean by partner.
Yeah, so in the world that we're in right now, we are moving into a partnership economy. This is a book by David Giovanni that just came out a few months back that details how the most successful companies on the planet are doing so through the vehicle of partnerships. They're making partnerships, affiliations, joint ventures, etc., to grow their companies. And so what we want to know is how, and what we want to really become experts at is attracting partners. And by the way, that's both internal partners or team members that want to join your team to help you scale, and external partners or customers and clients who use your products and services. So the partner attraction formula is literally, some people say, is that like a dating app? Yeah, it's dating for business, attracting the right people for the inside and the right clients from the outside. So there are 3 parts to it. Part number 1 is limbic or emotional messaging. And that is obviously Hubert and my specialty. That is what separates us from everybody else 100%. And we use AI to help create that messaging. Part 2 is to make sure that all of your copy that you're working with follows the 3 most important rules about marketing. Rule number one is it's all about them. Rule number two is it's all about them. Rule number three, you can probably figure out, right? All about them. And so make the copy about them. And the third part of the partner attraction formula is making sure that you have clear calls to action so that people know how to partner with you. So it's very clear to do that. And again, we use AI to do all of that. So I would say to Kathleen, make sure you join the mastermind, make sure you get the prompts. And once you've tweaked your speech, then run it through a limbic messaging prompt, run it through a partner-centric copy prompt, improve that so that it's all about them and more emotional, and you'll take your speech to an entirely another level that we didn't have time to do today. So there you have it, Hubert.
Excellent. Thank you so much for that context. Let's go back and see what we've cooked up here. Okay, so again, for Bruce, we put in the URL. We selected, there's many selections here. I chose the one called avatars. I'll show you what we programmed there. So literally that was enter the URL, select the model, and click submit once. Okay, so there was the handcrafted way that Ridgley just did with Kathleen, which is awesome. Okay, but when you don't have time for that, or if you want to start a starting point that, you know, you can just click this and, before you can even like lift up your coffee mug, you have the answers. Here's avatars. Okay, so avatars is based on visiting your website, breaking down the roles of your potential prospects into different avatars, and then coming up with emotional messaging for each avatar. Okay, and so Bruce, I will send you this, but you let me know if this is on target or not. Okay, based on the business description and services provided on the website, the following are possible reader personas and their desires. The first one is the personal development enthusiast. This person is passionate about personal growth and looking to improve. So you might say something like, we believe in the power of a positive mindset. Because your potential matters, you deserve, originally, this is comboing all three formats into one.
Yep.
We believe in the power of a positive mindset. Because your potential matters, you deserve to discover the small changes that can have a big impact on your life. The health and wellness seeker. We believe that your well-being is crucial. Because your health matters, you deserve, and so forth. The aspiring communicator, the goal-oriented individual, the fearful seeker. We believe in your ability to conquer fear. Okay. And it taps into the limbic system of the avatars, triggering emotions and desires, and thereby creating a connection between the potential customer and the services offered. Okay, so I'm just going to hit save.
Bruce says, I love that.
Oh, okay. Well,
and that's
awesome.
Perfect.
Okay, so I'm saving it for you, Bruce, and we'll get this over to you. So the system lets you save. Oh, wait a second. Okay. Mastermind. Okay, so we're going to save Bruce into the mastermind. Thank you, Bruce, for playing along. The next one I did was Susie. So we went and visited Susie's website. We copied the URL. I didn't even look at it to see what it was. I just put it right into the machine, and I chose We Believe as one of the formats. And again, there are many, many different formats here, but this is We Believe, the long version. So we believe. We believe in the power of transformation. Every individual has the potential to change, to grow, to become better. At Susie Merswick, we offer you the tools and guidance you need to embark on your journey of self-improvement. And then there are others based on the strength of community. We're not alone. We believe in the necessity of education. Knowledge is power. There you go. We believe in the importance of health. We believe in the value of your story. Everyone has a unique perspective to share. So what it's basically done is it visited your homepage, Susie, and it derived We Believe statements in a longish format for you to play with. And again, I'll save that and send that to you. And I can also run, additional ones as well. So let me just do that. Well, actually, I'll just leave this tab open and save it afterwards. And then we also had our friend and member Elaine, who dropped her renewedlivinginc.com website. I chose partner-centric copy because we haven't visited that in a long time. So basically, what it does is it goes and visits the homepage and then gives you copy that's very you-centric. Okay, so originally we haven't talked about this together in a long time, but key number 2 to the partner attraction formula is to make it you-centric, right? And so it tells you, are you waiting for a crisis to take your health seriously? We're here to help you unlock your secrets, living a radiant, disease-free life, right? So we believe you deserve optimal health, vitality, and joy every day. And it goes and tells its story. Don't, wait, invest in your health and unlock your secrets and so forth, right? And so basically we have a whole host of purpose-built tools. Oh, here's a cool one here. Let's just run this one for example, mantras. And let me just choose mantras and click submit. So this one, I was speaking with a mastermind member, Ridgley, who got a little down on like, oh, this is a bit of a slog, right? And I said, listen, we're gonna ask AI to look at your website and create mantras for you to keep you going strong. Okay, so Renewed Living Inc. again is the website. It came here and they extracted 3 mantras: embrace life, embrace health. The body is a marvel of nature, capable of extraordinary feats of healing and rejuvenation. Remember that your past struggles have forged you into a disease prevention expert. Your knowledge and your experience are your strength. Use them to continue your journey toward optimal health. From crisis to conqueror. Your journey began with this. Use this mantra whenever. So originally, I even took AI to help us get a little woo-woo here and give the business owner, based on their website, their own customized mantras. What do you think?
I think that's epic, man. So Marcy Green comes into chat and says, can you do this for a 1-page document that describes 4 different financing scenarios?
Yes, for sure. And how you would do is this. You would actually, and thank you so much, Marcy, I owe you $10 for pointing out this feature of it. Instead of entering a URL, you can actually flip it to enter text, which gives you this text field in which you would populate whatever you wanted to, talk about right there. And so that's how this tool would do that. Okay, so if you actually, now is a good time to actually drop the support link. So let me just say here, send any and all requests to support at partnerattractionformula.com. Okay, formula. And just say Hubert said, that he would run the PAF brain on what you're submitting. Okay, so there it is there, support at partnerattractionformula.com. And with that,
if you're interested and if you're not yet a mastermind member and you want to talk about that some more, please jump on my calendar and we will have some fun. As you can see, I really love doing this stuff. It's actually super fun for me. And I encourage you to bring whatever thing you need done. If it has to do with copy, messaging, marketing, etc., even if it's writing a speech about something I knew very little about.
There you go. That was an awesome demonstration, Ridgley. Thank you, everybody. Please, please, please. Ridgley has been complaining that he doesn't have enough to do on his calendar.
Oh, yeah. Okay, sure.
So book a call before more slots are filled up. Okay. So, have fun with Ridgley. It's a 30-minute call. Get them booked up. All right, Ridgley, I will let you close it. Thanks, everybody.
All right, guys. Thanks so much. As always, again, I'm looking forward to, I'm literally in exactly 30 minutes, jumping on a call to record the presentation on thinking like AI. You had a chance to check it out yourselves. It is the biggest advantage you can get right now. Some of us believe it's as big as the internet itself. So the difference is it took a long time for the internet to get adopted by many people. AI is happening at warp speed, and AI is accelerating the acceleration of AI. So just to let you know, it really is moving that fast. Please do yourself a favor. If it's not our mastermind, join a coaching program, join something, have a conversation with us to see how we can help you, because it is not going anywhere and you don't want to be left behind. Question came in the chat here. Is ChatGPT the best AI engine? What do you think, Hubert? I know what you're going to say, but go ahead and say it anyway.
There's a purpose-built AI for every single niche. So if you are a specialist in a certain niche, look for whatever your comrades are all excited about. ChatGPT 4 and OpenAI, the whole ChatGPT thing is awesome because it's very friendly, easy to use. You can start off even with a free account. GPT 3.5 is now free, so there's no excuse to start. I love them all. I think they're all full of like funny, goofy mistakes sometimes. And I have a lot of fun bending them into pretzels with my stupid prompts. But so at this point, it really doesn't matter which AI you use. It's using one in the right way, and how to think about it is the real difference.
Exactly right. And that's why whether it's ChatGPT, Google Bard, or some others, or even our own, really it's just about learning how to use the tool is the big thing for sure.
Yeah, and here's another trick too. Chain them together. Get the output from one, go to another one, and say, hey, improve this in the following manner. Tell them what you want and see what happens. Right? You don't have to, stay on one team. You can bounce across them.
All right, Hubert, you got a joke for us or what? I mean, I'm afraid I'm
Oh
not sure
my
I'm
God.
unprepared without a
Okay,
joke.
folks. Here's the other thing, folks. I love to tell stupid jokes like this one. Originally, how do you save a pirate that's had a heart attack?
How do you save a pirate that's had a heart attack? I have no idea.
Oh, that's easy. CPR.
Jesus, that's horrible. Okay, that's it. That was just horrendously bad. Okay, everybody, next week, our mastermind will be meeting on Thursday, the 28th at 11 o'clock Eastern. Thursday, 28th, 11 o'clock Eastern. Would love to have you there. And, have a great
Bruce.
time in the middle.
Funny one from Bruce. Two guys walked into a bar. You would think the second guy would have ducked.
Okay, people. All right. Love you guys. All great. Thanks a lot, everybody, for joining us. And we will catch you next time on the Mind Types Mastermind. Bring us your stuff and let's make it amazing.
Thank you so much for joining us from Mexico originally. Too bad it all came out in Spanish.
Okay. Ciao, guys. Bye for now.